My name's John Steventon. I work for the Wesley Centre for All in Wednesbury. I'm the centre manager. I look after two churches and the centre. Also look after the food bank at the top of Spring Head on Walsall Street. Been here since June 2012. It's been a bit of a roller coaster. Been quite a lot to do, a lot of things to put in place. It's quite a big organisation really in terms of what we offer to people. Local councillors in late 2011, early 2012 noticed that local kids were going hungry. They'd be walking around the streets, they'd have a packet of biscuits or a bag of crisps, and that was having to last them all day. So local councillors wanted to do something to help. They approached the local churches. Andrew became the lead for the local churches. Council paid for, or council provided the premises at 93-94 Walsall Street on a peppercorn rent. It's a double shop basically. It used to be the old property shop on Walsall Street, and we have that virtually free of charge because it's providing a service to the community. Nobody gets paid there. It's all voluntary work. We have a hard core of 15 volunteers. We've got 20 we can call on in total at various times. We provide food to people who are in crisis. It doesn't matter what walk of life you come from. You may be employed, you may be unemployed, you may be on benefits, you may have no benefits, you may be single, you may have a family. We don't discriminate on basis of ethnicity, religion, or no religion, age, gender, sexual orientation. There is no discrimination. Hunger has no postcode, it has no ethnicity, it has no gender. It doesn't discriminate, neither do we. So it was set up to provide as balanced a diet as you can for 3 days, as balanced a diet as you can out of a tin, because we have to have non-perishable food. There are some people who are classed as opportunists who want to, there's always somebody who wants something for nothing. I think we are very good at weeding those people out because we've got local volunteers who know people, who talk to people, and they get information, and that's our lifeblood really, I suppose, information. We can find out things about people. We know if they've altered vouchers. We know if they're trying to contact other food banks and get more than one food parcel or whatever it is. We don't want to be judgmental. Our ethos is that we are non-judgmental. When they come in, if they come in with a voucher, that is it as far as we're concerned. We will talk to them, ask them about their circumstance. We'll ask them if there's anything else we can do to help them. We try to get to the underlying cause because food is essentially a sticking plaster. It doesn't address their underlying problems, which may be debt, it may be ill health, it may be domestic violence, it may be that they're on the streets, they're homeless, they don't know where to turn, so we can signpost them to people who can help. And that's really the way forward for the food bank, is trying to address those underlying problems in a meaningful way so that it reduces their dependency on food handouts. We don't want to encourage people to become dependent on food handouts. That isn't the answer. We hope food banks will go out of existence, but it's not going to be for a while yet. They can be referred by health service professionals, by children's centres, local churches, Sandwell Homes, Sandwell Welfare Rights, social services. There's quite a few diverse, what we call voucher holders, who they can be referred by. If somebody comes in without a voucher, then we try to refer them to a voucher holder. So if it's a single person, we wouldn't refer them to a children's centre. We'd refer them to somebody like Sandwell Homes or Welfare Rights. If it's a family, people with a young family, they may well be referred to a children's centre, or their school may have vouchers. We do try and get as diverse a group of voucher holders as we can, so that we can direct people to the best place for them according to their circumstance. The reason we want people to have vouchers is twofold. One, it helps us to keep track of everything that's going on, who they are, and then the statistics can be reported back to any agency who needs statistics. But secondly, it's a protection for the volunteers. If somebody donates food to us, we weigh it and we log it in. If anything is out of date or damaged, it goes onto a separate shelf, and we can't give it away, but if somebody wants to take it, then they can. I don't put anything on that shelf that I think might be harmful. If it's a slight dent in the tin, slightly out of date, that's fine. If it's massively out of date, no, we wouldn't do that. Basically, comes in, gets weighed. Anything that goes on the out of date shelf is weighed. So if somebody comes in with 10 kilograms, 1 kilogram is out of date or damaged, we've got 9 kilograms left. Somebody comes in with a voucher and they get 6 kilograms of food, we should have 3 kilograms of food left on the shelf. And it's that transparency which protects the volunteers from accusations of, well, I bet you take your shopping home, and it's all sort of watertight, really. We see about 1,000 people a year in this first year that we've been open. It's mainly food. We do have some nappies. We do clothes and shoes. We've got a tent. We've already given a couple of tents away for homeless people. Sheets of plastic, thermos flasks, anything that can help people out from what they're actually experiencing at the time. Some people can't live in proper accommodation. They've been on the street for so long they can't cope with it. Does it mean they shouldn't have help? It's a different sort of help. Sometimes it's just a friendly word, a cup of tea, sandwich, and they're quite happy. The people of Wednesbury have been incredibly generous. We're all the volunteers are sort of so humbled by the fact that people just turn up on the door, just put a bag of groceries, and one guy brings in about 50 kilograms at a time. He does his monthly shop, and he takes 2 trolleys round, and he fills one up for us, one for himself. It's just incredible. And then you get somebody who brings in 1 tin of soup, or a bottle of mouthwash, or a packet of biscuits or something like that at a time, because that's what they can afford. Wednesbury people are so generous. I don't come from Wednesbury, I'm from Dudley originally. I worked in Birmingham, I live in Aldridge, but it's just incredible how generous people can be. That's what's keeping it going, and I don't mean it in a nasty way, but I hope the food bank doesn't last for too long, because it would be great to see them all closed down. That's the objective of every food bank, is to close down. We have collection points at children's centres, at schools, churches, various workplaces. We have Warburton's donate bread every Wednesday and Friday when we're open, 10 to 20 loaves a time. That's fantastic. KTC, big company, they donate. They donated a tonne of curried chickpeas. Now, I can't get rid of a tonne of curried chickpeas, that's sort of 2,400 tins. I can't get rid of that on my own, so what we do is we contact other food banks. Do you want some of this? We'll do some swaps for some pasta or rice or tea or whatever. So it gets spread round. They've been generous. People will either call into the church, or they'll call into the shop. We do, particularly around harvest time and Christmas time, we do appeals to local schools for their harvest festival and to the churches. There are other people who have done the Black Country Housing Group. They had 3 people who did a fun run, and instead of being sponsored for it, they asked people to bring in tins for the food bank. It's fantastic.